I went from being constantly overwhelmed to feeling extremely calm in just a few months. And honestly, the shift had nothing to do with working harder. You've probably tried fixing everything at once: your routine, your health, your finances, your habits, and eventually burned yourself out trying to maintain all of it. That's exactly where I was. The problem isn't your effort, it's your approach. Most people think they have to go all in to change their lives. Work out every day, wake up at 5 a.m., eat healthy, read more, save money, fix their routines overnight. But what if the reason most people burn out has nothing to do with discipline? What if they're simply trying to carry too much all at once? Because that's exactly what I did. At one point, I was trying to eat healthier, go to the gym consistently as someone who had never stepped in the gym before, keep a strict nighttime routine, wake up extremely early to get ahead, put myself out there to date more, and write a novel all at the same time. And honestly, I burned out quickly. I couldn't maintain momentum in any of those areas because my brain was overloaded. There were too many changes happening all at once, too many expectations, too many systems I was trying to build overnight. Your brain can only process so much before it starts pushing back. People always say your brain is like a muscle. Technically, it's not, but I still think about it that way sometimes. Because what happens when you train a muscle too hard without recovery? Eventually, something gives out. You get injured, you strain something, and your body forces you to slow down. Or think about a balloon. If you fill it too quickly or add too much water, eventually it bursts. Not because the balloon is weak, it just reached its limit. And I think people do the same thing to themselves all the time. We try to become completely different people overnight, then wonder why we can't maintain it. Looking back, it feels obvious now. I was trying to change everything at once instead of creating space for change to actually last. The answer turned out to be much simpler than I expected. In fact, you've probably already used it in some area of your life without even realizing it. I want you to think about what your mornings typically look like. You probably wake up around the same time every day. If you have kids, you probably have your morning down to a science. You know when to wake up, when to get yourself ready for work, when your kids need breakfast, when they need to leave for school, and exactly when you need to get in the car or get to the bus stop. You probably don't even think about it most of the time anymore. And that's the point. Without realizing it, you created a system through small routines that built and repeated over time. You didn't wake up one morning and magically know how to manage all of that. You built it gradually, which means you already know how to create change in your life. You just need to apply that same mindset to the goals you're trying to reach. For example, let's say your goal is to eat less processed sugar. Most people try to cut out everything immediately. No candy, no desserts, no sugary snacks overnight, but your body notices that sudden shift, and eventually the cravings hit harder than before. You do well for a few days, maybe even a week, and then you fall right back into the same habits. Instead, start smaller. If you eat a bag of M&Ms every day at 2 p.m., start by eating just half the bag. The next week, reduce it a little bit more. Eventually, you'll remove the habit entirely. After that, you can start adjusting other meals over time. The same thing applies to waking up early for the gym. If you suddenly decide to wake up at 5 a.m. while still going to bed at 11 p.m., your body's going to fight back quickly. You'll be exhausted within a few days, and eventually you'll fall back into your old routine because your body needs sleep. Instead, shift gradually. Start going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Keep that consistent for a week. Then adjust again. Over time, your body naturally adjusts to the new routine instead of feeling shocked by it. And that's really the difference. The small habits you build slowly begin supporting the life you want to create. They stop feeling forced, they begin to feel automatic. And before you realize it, the things that once felt difficult simply become a part of who you are. Here's the reality of trying to make changes in your life. You're not always going to feel motivated. And honestly, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're lazy, it doesn't mean you're weak, and it definitely doesn't mean that you're incapable of creating the change you want to see in your life. Motivation comes and goes. Some days, things are going to feel easy. Other days, life is going to hit you all at once. Maybe you had a stressful day at work and you barely slept that night. Suddenly, waking up early the next day feels completely impossible. Or maybe you got into an argument with your partner or a close friend. Now you're emotionally drained and all you want to do is eat a pint of cookies and cream ice cream on the couch. And sometimes it's not even a motivation problem at all. Sometimes it's just life. Maybe your child gets sick and you have to leave work early to pick them up from school. Now, your normal routine is completely different. You can't make it to the gym after work because your priorities completely shifted for the day. That's real life. Life isn't perfectly structured all the time. There are days where you're going to feel completely locked in, and other days where everything just feels off, or you feel overwhelmed or exhausted. That doesn't mean you failed. You're going to hear me say this a lot. Perfection should never be the goal. The goal is consistency. Because when you slowly build habits in your life, they become stable enough to survive imperfect days. Missing one workout because you were up all night with your sick child isn't going to destroy your progress. Having one bad day isn't going to erase everything that you built. And I think that's important to remember. A consistent life is not a perfect life. It's a life where you keep returning to the things that matter even after difficult days. So here's what I want you to do after watching this video. Pick one goal from your list, just one, then find one small habit you can start doing this week that helps move you closer to that goal. That's it. Because the truth is, no habit is too small to matter. The smallest habits are usually the ones that grow into lasting change over time. One small action becomes routine, that routine becomes part of your lifestyle, and eventually, those small changes actually begin shaping the life you want to live. I want to leave you with this thought. An oak tree can grow over 100 feet tall, but it starts as a tiny acorn. It doesn't grow overnight. It grows slowly through consistency over time. And honestly, people aren't much different. The life you want is built the same way. Let me know your one habit in the comments below. If this helped, subscribe. I'll be breaking down systems for a simpler lifestyle so you can actually build something that works.